Hello, welcome everyone.
Yeah, hello. It's great to be here. No, it's just going to be myself on this event.
Sweet. All right. Good afternoon, Whale Coin Talk community. My name is Noah. I'm here with the Y-5 ecosystem. They are building a whole bunch of different things. Gentlemen, before we get started, why don't you give us a quick background of who you are, how you got to be in the crypto space, and then we can jump into the project, start talking about the nuts and bolts of things.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Bradley. I started Y-5 6 months ago. The reason I got into crypto, I used to come from a financial services background. I then got into technology and the development background of financial services, and then sort of progressed into the crypto space. I've worked with a few other projects in the past, and then I thought it was about time I broke out on my own and really sort of seen a gap in the market, especially with the tokenomics space, where it could it's such a young aspect of crypto. I think there's a lot that can be done with it, and we wanted to come out and implement our ideas and give it a good go. We have quite a large team. There's mainly 3 core team members. That's Stuart and Adam. They predominantly sit on the advisory board. They are very well respected businessmen, and they run a fintech company in London that helps with regulation and advisory on that part of it. The whole reason to start Y-5 was to create the first sort of wealth token. So we have a wealth token that sits in the middle of our ecosystem, and then we have numerous utilities around the wealth token that all drive profits back into the wealth token. So we believe we are creating a truly sustainable ecosystem.
And Bradley, give me a high-level overview of that ecosystem. Now, you have mentioned the Y-5 token, and you did, note that it does provide numerous utilities with respect to the ecosystem. But I'm curious for you to, kind of break it down more on a nuts and bolts basis. What are those utilities? What are you guys building exactly? And how does it all come together?
Yeah, of course. So the wealth token sits in the middle. We currently have our decentralized exchange is currently live. We have our centralized exchange coming within the next month. Our centralized exchange will also be launching with our own GBP stablecoin. We will then be launching a Euro stablecoin and a USD stablecoin. Just to break away from that, on the stablecoins, we will also be listing the stablecoins on as many exchanges as we can as well. Again, every transaction that takes place on them stablecoins is charged a very small fee of 0.3%. And again, all that profit is just pumped back into our wealth token. We also have wallet insurance coming on our exchange. So people can pick different packages within our exchange, and they can actually insure their wallet on the centralized exchange. We have our Launchpad coming. Again, our Launchpad is ready. We are ready to launch our Launchpad. We are just waiting to go firm on a few credible projects to get them off the ground. We have just launched our Y-5 TT, which is our trader token. The main purpose of the trader token is to, in the simple format, it's going to be the BNB of our infrastructure. So when we eventually do progress onto our own blockchain, the main token will be the trader token. Again, the trader token charges a very small fee. It will be used to raise liquidity on our Launchpad. It will be traded on our exchange, as well as many exchanges as we can get it on. And again, all them profits get pumped back into the wealth token in the format of a buyback and burn. We also have the debit cards coming up, so people can actually collect their rewards off our wealth token and then spend them in everyday life on a debit card. Something really exciting that we are working on is actually a Roundup application. So at the minute, we're looking at partnering with Google and Apple Pay. The mobile application, for example, you can buy a coffee for $2.50. It will round up to $3, and that 50 cents will then be used to choose a cryptocurrency of your choosing in our exchange, all automatic. So you don't even have to do anything. Sort of like a savings account where it will just build up over time the more you use the app. As well as that, we do have sort of the big one of our utilities is our own blockchain. So at the minute, the best way to see it is we are sort of building the pieces of the puzzle to then put the puzzle together on our own blockchain, be a full self-sustaining blockchain, and every single bit of profit gets pushed back into the wealth token, which then pays our investors.
I think you're muted, Noah, if you're trying to speak.
Oh boy, sorry about that. That hasn't happened in a while, so we'll give you guys a couple minutes at the end of the AMA to make sure we make up for that mute. So I do have a bunch of questions based on everything you've said, Bradley. One, your stablecoin, how is it designed exactly? Is it a stablecoin that's backed one for one, with a treasury of US dollars? It's an algorithmic stablecoin. Is it decentralized? Tell us more about that, please.
The stablecoin, very bluntly, will be backed one by one. So if somebody, take the GBP stablecoin, for example, if somebody wants to buy £10 worth of the stablecoin, they will make that transaction, and then we have a mechanism that will then print the stablecoin. So it will always be one-to-one. We are not using any algorithmics or anything like that. It's all one.
So you will have a treasury that is backed with US dollars, one for every stablecoin that you mint, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We're currently working with the regulators in Gibraltar, and also external auditors, and it'll be monthly reporting. But yeah, everything will be back one by one.
And where are you based? Where are you guys located?
So the team are based in London and Gibraltar.
And are you finding any regulatory hurdles with creating your own stablecoin?
I mean, it was pretty plain sailing until the episode with Luna happened, and then it was sort of we had to educate the regulators on the different mechanisms that stablecoins can use. So we're currently going through that process now. But the regulators out in Gibraltar, they're sort of world leading on crypto and innovation. So it's not as hard as you'd imagine. However, it is a very lengthy process.
Understood. And what's it going to be called? The stablecoin?
It's just going to be Y-5 GBP, and then we'll have Y-5 Euro, Y-5 USD.
Beautiful. And with respect to your decentralized exchange and your centralized exchange, are you guys going to be hosting your own liquidity, or are you going to be sharing liquidity or pulling from another established exchange's liquidity?
So with our tokens and our stablecoins, we'll be providing the liquidity for projects wanting to come onto our centralized exchange. We can provide liquidity, but that'll be for a fee, although they can bring their own. It's completely up to them. But again, this is sort of one aspect, because when we have our Launchpad and projects want to launch in our Launchpad, as long as they're KYC and vetted, they will then get the opportunity to go straight onto our centralized exchange, having raised liquidity in either our stablecoin or Y-5 TT.
Understood. And can you tell me a bit about insurance? You said that you guys have ways people can insure their wallets. Who is the insurance provider? Which entity is actually making sure that if something happens, these users of your ecosystem are going to be compensated?
Yeah, so we're in talks with a third party. One of our advisory board, or two of our advisory board, Stuart and Adam, they are heavily working the insurance background. So we are actually looking at getting that policy underwritten ourselves, that we can then obviously make a profit on and push the profits back into the wealth token. But the model will be sort of a monthly subscription to, as sort of any insurance plan would be. It'd be a monthly subscription to insure the wallet on our CEX.
And you did mention a trader token, which would act as like the native token of your blockchain. Is that just going to be the Y-5 token?
So we currently have two tokens. We have Y-5 Finance, which is our wealth token that has the 20% tax with 13% BUSD rewards. And now we currently have Y-5 TT, which is our trader token. At the minute, the tax is 3%. On the centralized exchanges, that's going to be coming down to 1%. And then when we eventually move onto our blockchain, that'll be 0%.
And are you guys on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko?
Our wealth token is. Our trader token only went live, I believe it wasn't that long ago at all. So we're currently undergoing all that process. We're currently listed on 3 exchanges, and we have a Bitmart exchange for the Y-5 TT on the 20th.
Got it. And what are the other 2 exchanges that you're listed on?
So we have BKEX, FX, sorry, and Digifinex, and CoinScope, I think. CoinScript, sorry.
Got it. And tell me a bit about your blockchain. You guys are building your own native blockchain. Can you kind of give us a high-level overview of what that's going to look like? What's, what consensus mechanism is it going to be using? Is it going to be EVM compatible? How, give us a rundown of that, please.
Yeah. So to be very honest, at the minute we are heavily in the research phase. So we haven't gone firm on much, but it will be EVM compatible. But the exact mechanism we're sort of going to use, we haven't gone firm on it yet. I think the reason for that is this space is just, it's progressing so quick. By the time we've sort of looked at something, there's sort of someone's developing a new mechanism. So we don't want to go firm on it now and then go into it. We want to start thinking really futuristic about it. So we haven't really gone firm on any of that information yet.
And what do you consider to be some benefits of launching your own blockchain, right? Why not just, exist on an already well-established chain like BSC, Ethereum, or Avalanche?
Because like anything, we think we can, if we can bring our own blockchain out, that furthers this space and is faster, cheaper, and more efficient, then why wouldn't we sort of have a crack at that?
Got it. And how many developers do you have currently working on this or doing research on this?
So we have 4 in-house developers that are in the team, but we outsource a lot. So we're constantly bringing in specialists. If we don't know something, we look for the best and we get them sort of on a freelance basis to advise us and help us. So we've constantly got an evolving team with the core team in the center making the decisions. But if we don't know something, we'll bring a specialist in pretty quick.
Understood. So tell us about your Launchpad. What are going to be some distinguishing features that it provides, with respect to all the other Launchpads that are currently out there?
Yeah, so our Launchpad, it's going to be pretty basic and pretty straightforward. There's not going to be a sort of need to hold X amount of wealth token or Y-5 TT. Our fees are probably going to be the lowest out there because we really want to help these projects. But the benefits of launching on our Launchpad is we will help you and we will openly support your project. If you pass our KYC and our vetting process, you'll get a little certificate, a Y-5 certificate, which then says that Y-5 openly supports this project, and you will get access to all of our utilities if you wanted to also use them in your project. For the user wanting to invest in new projects, it will be seamless and it will be so much cheaper, and you kind of know that the projects aren't going to we're not taking a heavy chunk of tokens to sell out at launch. If we're supporting a project, we will hold them tokens indefinitely and the price will be a lot cheaper, so you're getting a solid project and it's going to have a good start.
Certainly. And tell us a bit about your seed round, your private sale, your pre-sale for each respective token. How many contributors invested in those? What was the maximum contribution per wallet? And what were the soft cap and hard cap for each respectively?
Yeah, okay. So I don't know about how many contributors there was for each off the top of my head. But the Y-5 wealth token, which the pre-sale happened at the beginning of this year, the soft cap was 400 BNB. The hard cap was 800 BNB, with the maximum Maximum wallet, I think it was 4 BNB with the minimum of 0.2. That filled out within the hour, which was really successful. Our Y-5 TT, the maximum, we didn't actually have a hard cap for that. We just opened it up to our current Y-5 community and said, this is what we're going to do. If you want to get in on the private sale, you can come. We kind of left it open and made sure everybody could get involved. So our private sale for that, there was no minimum for the wallet, but the maximum you could invest was 20 BNB. And then we went for the pre-sale with that, with a soft cap of 500 BNB and a hard cap of 1,000 BNB, which again sold out within a few hours.
Understood. And Bradley, I want to talk about the Roundup app. Can you give us a breakdown of what you guys are building on that end?
Yep. So we are currently in talks with Google and Apple Pay to create an app. It'll be very similar to sort of an online bank account. So how you can go and pay with your phone at the coffee shop, you'll be able to log into the app and pay through the app with your BUSD rewards, or you could deposit fiat into there and you can pay with that. And then it will round up to the nearest pound or dollar that you set. Within the app, you will then be able to set to buy a cryptocurrency of your choice automatically. You'll be able to set more than one cryptocurrency. So let's say the Roundup is $1. You can choose between 10 cryptocurrencies that you want to put 10 cents into. And this will all get taken care of automatically within the app.
And how far until this app is live?
We're not going to give exact dates, but we are looking around the 8 to 12 month mark at the minute.
And so, Bradley, you've kind of broken down a lot of different components that you guys have coming together in this ecosystem. If you had to take a step back and kind of take an overview, what percentage of what you guys are envisioning is already live?
Already live today?
Yeah.
Yep. So we have our decentralized exchange, and we have our Launchpad, which is ready to go any day. And our centralized exchange and stablecoins are going to be live within the next month.
Do you have any projects that are currently waiting to go onto your Launchpad, or rather launch on your Launchpad?
Yeah. So we're in talks with quite a few, a microfinancing crypto project and a NFT project. We are very selective to who we talk to about coming onto our Launchpad. We don't want to sort of build a reputation of let's say low level projects. We only want high projects with very qualified teams who are actually trying to better the space. So we are very selective.
Sweet. And Bradley, is there anything that, I haven't asked with respect to the ecosystem that you want to tell our community about? We're about to get to community questions here in a moment, but feel free to have the mic and, share with us something that we might not see on your white paper or on the website.
Yeah, I think I'll just reiterate, because I understand it can be quite a lot to take in. But we currently have two tokens, the wealth token and the trader token. Every bit of profit that is made on our ecosystem is pushed back into the wealth token in the format of a buyback and burn. The buyback and burn takes place at least 2 to 3 times a week. So just before our AMA today, we actually bought back $9,500 worth of Y-5 wealth token and then just burnt them straight away. By doing this, we're increasing the price and we are giving all of our profits back to the community. So the wealth token is the token you want to hold long term, and the trader token is our BNB of our ecosystem. So just to reiterate that.
Understood. So Bradley, that is pretty much it for my questions. I want to give our community members a chance to ask. Before I jump into that, can you give us a quick overview of your marketing campaign? What are some of the more lucrative strategies you guys are using to gain exposure and kind of distinguish yourselves in an ever-growing space?
Yep. So we have a full-time marketing team. We're currently, doing all the sort of normal things with social media. We also have a PR campaign kicking off very soon. We have also just listed on quite a few exchanges with more in the pipeline. When we're listing on these exchanges, at the minute we're taking their platinum packages and everything that comes with that as well. I think it was an aggregated exposure of over 10 million crypto individuals. We get CoinScope articles, Bitcoin.com articles. We get all this good stuff, which is going to be happening in the very near future. Our marketing campaign is very sort of test and adjust, like anything. We see what works. If it works, we double down on it. If it doesn't, we bin it. So it is constantly evolving, but we do have quite a nice marketing budget, and it is a constantly evolving strategy.
Sweet. And I want to get to some of our investors here. Let's get with Western Beast first, and then we'll move down the line.
All right. Thanks a lot, Noah. Great presentation, Bradley. I just have a few questions to ask. I heard you say you're going to be taking only projects with high value potential. So what factors will you be looking at when you're considering this project? And which members of your team will you be allowing your community to also take part in this verification process for the projects that will be coming on your Launchpad?
Yep. So how that will work is projects will approach us. What we're looking for is not just the generic roadmap that we see a lot of projects kind of do. Is where they come out, they create a swap. We're sort of trying to come away, and they rely a lot on hype to kind of get their price moving. It needs to work and be sustainable. And we are looking, I think in one word to sum it up, we're looking for innovation, right? So once we've analysed that and we've accepted the project, we would then push it to our community, who will then say, yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not interested. If the overwhelming majority is not interested, then we won't launch that project.
That's really strategic. I'll be asking the rest of my questions in the Telegram group. Thanks a lot for the explanation. Over to you, Noah.
Thank you.
Next up is Sayed.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. Okay, so you mentioned that there will be a wallet insurance for the central exchange wallet, and there will be different packages. So I was wondering that will the insurance cover all the assets or only the stable coins, and what maximum worth of assets can be insured?
Yep, so it will cover all assets in our centralized exchange wallet. Now, there will be terms and conditions to the wallet insurance, which are yet to be disclosed. As the policy is currently getting written. There will be no maximum amount of assets that you can insure, but there may be different price points. So it sort of operates very similar to any sort of insurance.
Okay, got it. Thank you for explaining that. Over to you, Noah.
All right, next up we have Aisha.
Thank you, Noah. On your white paper, it's mentioned about liquidity algorithm, and this algorithm will select new verified projects to stake for users. I want to understand that how will this algorithm select new promising projects for users to stake to gain exposure and a profit without major drawbacks? I mean, what will be the working mechanism and which data points will your algorithm utilize?
Yep, so the liquidity algorithm is something that we will look to implement on our exchange. As we've all seen in crypto, you sort of do get the phenomenons where a project does explode. If a project does sort of explode and it is having heavy volume, then we will implement the liquidity algorithm onto that. By doing that, we're not affecting the price or doing any sort of arbitrage. It's literally we're just getting involved in the liquidity pool and making money on each transaction within that liquidity pool. That then we can then push back to the wealth token.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
Great. And that looks like all of our community questions. Bradley, I was curious to know, if you guys have worked on other crypto projects in the past, your team, and kind of how those went, and what lessons you've gathered from those endeavors and are applying them to the one you're working on today.
Yeah, so the reason we started Y-5, to be very blunt, was because tokenomics as a concept doesn't really work, because you are just relying on fresh blood coming in and new investors coming in, so then they can maintain the price and pay them rewards. What we wanted to do was sort of re-engineer that to have a tokenomics token in the center of our ecosystem, and then create real world utilities that can be used in everyday life. So if we take the Roundup app, for example, people are just buying a coffee. They might not be thinking about crypto. However, when they're using our Roundup app, they are purchasing cryptocurrencies off our exchange, which is then feeding back into our ecosystem and into our wealth token. So then we are creating that sustained volume without people physically thinking about crypto. So this was sort of a main goal for us, was to create these real world utilities that can be used in everyday life without people even thinking about crypto. If we can achieve that and create revenue off them to then push back into our wealth token, then we are going to create a fully sustained tokenomics project. I think if we look at all the major tokenomics projects, you have the massive rise of the fresh blood coming in, and then after that they sort of just, they go flat because they're not creating that self-sustaining volume. With our utilities and our roadmap, everything is based around our wealth token, and we believe we are achieving this.
Love it. We got a question from Jay. Jay, go ahead, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you. I just want to say, first and foremost, I've been in the wealth token, and I've been in TT, and I've been happy with everything that Y-5 has done. But my question is, when do we see the exchanges giving you the money that they received? Like, I'm probably saying this all wrong, but I'm sure you get what I mean.
So just to confirm, do you mean the exchanges you just listed Y-5 trader token on?
Yes. When will they? When will you receive the money from those exchanges?
Yeah, the tax of the tokens, right? Yeah.
Yes, I apologize. Yes, the taxes.
Yeah. So each exchange is different. Like let's take DigiFinex for example. They pay that tax in a lump sum once a month. So if we look at the volume daily, it's not going to equate to the buyback and burn of that week. We will have to wait until the end of the month and then take a lump sum. The benefit to that is you're going to get a bigger buyback and burn at the end of the month. Bitmart is a little bit different, and the exchanges we are listed on are a bit different. Some are a week, some are daily, and again, some are monthly. So it is spread across the board. But every time we get a payout from that, we will tell the community, look, we've had the payout from DigiFinex. It's this amount. This is going to the buyback and burn.
And just out of curiosity, the wealth token isn't on DigiFinex, right?
No, so the wealth token isn't on any centralized exchange at the minute.
Will it go on DigiFinex, or will it just stay where it's at right now?
No, it will stay where it's at. The reason for that is when you have a high tax tokenomics token listed on these exchanges, it doesn't work. You're creating numerous liquidity pools, and ultimately funds just go missing through the exchanges. So that was our decision, not to list the wealth token on any centralized exchange.
How many exchanges will the trader token be on by the end of the year? What do you aim for? Not exact numbers, but just hopefully goal that you can actually hit.
Yeah, so I think we can go now and we could list on, let's say, 30 low-level exchanges. But what we want to do is you want to follow a process of getting on the low-level exchanges, then the medium-level exchanges, and then the high-level exchanges. So we'd rather take one Binance over 50 mediocre exchanges, right? So it's quite a hard question to answer on the exact number of exchanges. But our roadmap for the exchange listings is we're going to target the biggest ones as soon as possible.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I had.
Sweet. Solid questions, Jay. Thank you for those. I think Sayed, you had another question, buddy. Go for it.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. Okay, so you also have a Wi-Fi Academy page, and there are few articles written by the Harry. So I was wondering that do you have any plan of adding online courses there as well, or will there be only the articles?
Yep, so we are getting educational videos made for the website update, which is currently undergoing that. There'll be a full sort of video collection explaining from the basics of crypto to sort of advanced level. That's all in the works. However, that's not sort of a team's extreme priority at the minute. It's just something that's taking place in the background and will be ready sort of when it's ready.
Okay, got it. And there are also various proposals on the snapshot.org for Y-Finance. So I was wondering that how are users able to create the proposal? What are the requirements?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, I was going through your website and it directed me to the snapshot.org website for the DAO. And there are various proposals relating to your Y-Finance. So I was wondering that how are a user or holder able to create the proposals?
Yep, so if you just go onto our DAO and you connect your wallet, you will then be able to create a proposal that then can get voted on by our community.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. Over to you, Noah.
Thank you. And then we have time for one more question, I think. Let's go with Astro. Astro, you there, buddy?
I just wrong click. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right, so let's go with Bossman, and then let's wrap things up.
All right. Thank you, Noah, and to the team from Y-5. Thanks for the explanation. Although I kind of joined a little bit late, but some things just actually caught my attention. And first of it is the fact that you have two token. Like, can you please explain more on the rationale behind having these two tokens?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, sorry, boss man. Your mic is really low, and we're kind of running out of time here. I want to get one more question in from Wi-Fi Air Force, and then we're gonna wrap things up.
Yeah, hi Bradley.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Thanks for all the work you're doing for the Y-5 community. It's great. I'm involved in several assets, and I've got to say Y-5 is definitely amongst the most coherent projects I'm involved in, which is great. My only question and concern is this upcoming airdrop in relation to the current market conditions. Does the team have mechanisms in place if people start dumping the airdrop is in relation to things like liquidity, etc.? Is there a backup which the team will fall back onto?
Yeah, so we have our buyback and burn wallet, which we haven't utilised from the beginning to try and maintain the price. So yeah, that's what we're relying on, really. I mean, if people are going to sell, people will sell. All we can do is sort of make them regret it in a month's time.
Definitely. But essentially, the wealth token is mainly focused towards the diamond hand holders with longevity in mind.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for the questions, audience members. Bradley, I want to thank you again for being with us. That was a solid AMA. I think you guys have a very ambitious project, and I would love to see where you guys end up in the future. So anytime you want to come back and do a follow-up AMA with Whale Coin Talk, I'd be happy to host you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Audience members, remember that Whale Coin Talk is an educational channel. We do not give investment advice. We are a podium for you to learn about various crypto projects across the space. Always do your own research and invest what you are willing to lose. Thank you again for joining with us, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.